porque mi celular sigue así, entonces te pasa de largo porque lo toman. Este, ¿no? Te pasa de largo. Por allá, está claro. Ese está bien.
All right, so you should have imported Chico, the character Chico.
Yep. Sorry. How can I remove one thing that I put?
The erase tool, there's an eraser.
Eraser.
Yeah, but we're moving forward from that, so stop working on the level completely and work on this character. I cannot stress that enough. So, this character is 32 by 32, which means pixels per unit are 32, exactly. So for Chico, pixels per unit, as usual, point no filter, format, or GBA. Click apply. Yes.
Click on Chico. We have to select all Chico images.
Yeah, just the main Chico. Main Chico. And once that's applied, we can open the sprite editor.
There was point no filter and what else?
Point no filter and the format or GBA.
Perfect.
Inside of slice, just like we did before, we're going to slice by cell size.
32.
Yes, 32. 32 by 32. We don't need to do any padding or anything here because I made this asset and it's perfect. Nobody needs to do anything. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different animations. His idle, when he's walking to the right, and when he's walking to the left. So 3 animations.
What's happened when I can't see the slides?
Oh, you haven't clicked slice yet, maybe? So after you said 32 by 32, make sure to click slice.
Editing disabled. Oh yeah.
Okay, and then when you have it sliced, we're going to click apply, and we're going to create our 3 animations.
So it was just pixel size 32, offset and padding 0.
Everything 0 except for pixel size, 32 by 32. Then we're going to close this sprite editor. And like we did before, we're going to click the little arrow next to Chico and roll out his different frames. Select just the first 2 and drag them into our main stage. This will make an animation. First animation. Yes.
32.
32 by 32. Hi.
Drop the same.
Just the first 2. Drag it into our scene. It'll ask for an animation name, idle. I'm going to make a little folder for Chico. Chico. Walk or walk to the right. So the next two.
Walk to right.
So select just these two, control and select 2 and 3 and drag them in, and it'll make an animation of just those 2 frames. Mhm.
Walk.
Yep. And finally, oh, I haven't done it. Yeah, I better do it as well. These two, drag it into the scene, create my animation. Walk or. Walk or is the second one. The third animation. Walk L. Walk to the left. And this is exactly what we did with this little cowboy. He had 2 for an idle, where he's standing and sleeping, and then 1 for walking. He only had 2 animations. This one we got 3. So 1, 2, select both of these, drag them into the scene, and save the animation. Walk L, walk left. And pressing play, I can see the animations are working, even if they are very fast. Save! Save now! For no reason, just save. Next up, we have a bit of cleaning up after Unity. So we have 3 avatars. We only need 1. Let's delete Chico 2 and Chico 4, the extras that were created, because we only need 1 avatar, and that's going to have all the animations on it. Delete. Delete these 2, Chico 2, Chico 4. Chico will return. More cleaning up, and this is in our assets folder. So please follow this mode. In wherever you save the animations, I save them in the anim folder and Chico. These are our state machine controllers. Again, we only need one of them. We can delete Chico 2 and Chico 4. But these are the controllers, the animation controllers. Is everything going well? Yeah, I go.
Mine doesn't have animation.
Well, you created the animations.
Yeah.
Well, then it does. It does. Yeah, it does.
Where they like don't show the when we go to play, but I really it's no move. Você deixa eles vai logo para muito e porque só para entender as músicas quando já tem.
This is idle. So this one, you notice they're both the same. So if we press play, it's not going to look like it's moving, but it is animating.
Essa cabeça.
It is animating. It just doesn't look like it. Because it's animating between the same picture again and again. Only these ones don't look like they're moving.
So mine would on.
Maybe.
So mine there is animation of practice para like
One more is created. And now this one here. Yeah.
Things tem também? Tem lá, mas lá tem.
These two. Okay. And you can just do the last two, put them out there, and then you need to do the next one. That's from your sprite editor. It's fine. Don't worry. All fine. Okay, so once you have deleted your two animator controllers, which will be created after you make 3 animations, we're left with just Chico 0, the controller, and just Chico 0, the player character. With 3 animations. So let's open up the animator controller. And here we have idle. And I'm going to add my other 2 animations in here. So idle is here already. You double click on this to open the animator. On this. And we're going to add our other animations just by dragging them into the state machine. Walk out. Walk over. I'm just gonna set these. No, yeah. I'll just do nothing for a second. So a state machine needs a parameter to check before it'll make a change of state. 2 weeks ago, we only had 2 animations, so we used a Boolean, an on or off. Is it moving or is it not moving? Very easy to track. In this case, we need to check if we're moving to the left or to the right of the screen. So for that, I can't use a Boolean because there's 3 states. I'm going to use an integer. So up in our parameters, I'm going to create an integer. I'm just going to name it x. Because we're checking for x movement if we're moving on the x-axis. If we're heading into the minus, we're moving to the left of the screen. We're heading into the plus, it's going to the right because we read the numbers left to right.
What is that?
This little plus, select parameters, and this little plus right here. You have the right window open?
No.
Okay. You need to open this, your animation controller. So just double click on the controller itself. And then I added these 2 animations in. You just drag them in to add them. Last week's controller, we had parameters going back and forward between idle and walk. So basically, if it's moving, is moving is true. We go from the idle animation to the walking animation. This time, we're going to use the AnyState command. And I'm going to make a transition from any state to all 3 of these. So we just right click, make transition, connect to idle. Right click, make transition, and connect to walk, and then make another transition to walk or. I forgot to create it there. I created my int x, is this one. It was created there, value of 0 by default. If we select these wires, we can check for the parameters on whether to change or not. So for walk L, I'll select the wire between any state and walk L. I'm going to change my settings here, turn off can transition to self, and change duration to 0.10. It says no model available for this preview. I'm going to drag Chico into this little panel down here. So I can see. There we go. There's animation.
Drag to what?
To the preview panel.
And drag the Chico zero, right?
Yep.
From here.
From your hierarchy, yeah. From there.
So now it does not do it, right? Oh.
Now, it's giving us a warning here. Chico 0 transition any state to walk or in state any state doesn't have an exit time or any condition, transition will be ignored. So these transitions need a parameter. We've created a parameter just for that. So let's apply it. So any state to walk L. All of our minus values are over on the left-hand side, and all of our plus values are on the right-hand side. Which means if we're moving towards the left, we're traveling into the minus on the x. What that means for us is then we add a condition down here. And we're checking, is x less than 0? Because it's going into the minus. So this is for walk L, transition to walk L. Add the condition less than 0. Then the next transition, going from any state to walk or. Transition duration is 0.1. Can transition to self is off, and we add the condition x is greater than 0.
Great. Can you just show me the state algal review? It's doing.
It's doing idle first. See what's happening here? Have you ever used Adobe Premiere? It's transitioning between the animations. So it's going to start at the stop, this standing, and then do a walk. So this, if I do walk L, it'll show me this.
Oh, it's the same.
Yeah, because the idle is facing that way. Yeah, that's what this duration thing is, how long it takes to transition. Like you can make it up.
Just the other side.
Yeah. So x less than 0 when we're walking to the left, x is greater than 0 when we're walking to the right. Final transition. Again, we'll say can transition to self is off. I'll turn that down to 0.1 because it's a very short animation. There's no transitioning needed. What do you think of the condition is? X is equal. Equal. Somebody said it already. Equal. Yeah. So Yeah, less than is in the minus, so to the left of the screen. Greater than is in the plus, to the right of the screen. Literally left to right.
And all of them, the
Yeah.
transition to set is
Off.
on check.
Yeah.
On all of them.
Yeah. Lastly, let's just set the animation speed. See, it's quite fast with the beep, 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 beep. I'm just going to lower the speed of all three of these. I'm selecting the actual clips, and there's a speed up here. You can say 0.5. I think 0.4 is what I was using. 0.4. All three. Ooh, save. Save that game. Now we need to make Chico into a character controller. So we're done with the animation stuff. It's all set now.
You select that exit now.
No, they're not going to exit. Like, that's usually when you're ending an animation of something. Like, they have an end animation and then they're gone. Like, an enemy dies, exit. But we don't need that because we're just going to, we die and we respawn. The animation still stays. Anyway, back to our scene. There's Chico. He needs a rigid body and he needs a collider.
We select Chico.
Chico. In the main stage, yep. Our actual game object.
Okay.
We're going to give him a collider and a rigid body. I will go with Capsule Collider 2D. And I'm going to lower its size on the X just a little bit. Yeah, 0.6. Capsule Collider.
What else?
Rigid body 2D, yep.
What did you? How did you change in the capsule collider?
The size of the collider. It was at 1:1, which makes it a circle like that. I just made it a little bit tighter.
Just the next.
Yes. Freeze rotation, gravity scale. I'm gonna bump it up to 20. I think. I'll try 60.
Sizing.
Let's see.
Okie doke. Let's have some real fun. Let's write a script. Yay. I'm ready. Let's go. Script time. Let's add a component, a new script. I'm going to call it Chico Move. Save it in my script folder. You can move.
Teacher, where did you know when to get the script?
You just go to add component, and then new script is the very bottom. So we are going to use start and update in this script, so you can keep them for once. I usually say delete them, not this time. Like all our other move scripts, we need a float for speed. We are going to have a separate one for jump speed. Say 10 and 20. Store my rigid body. And we're going to need some string values, because I'm going to lock these to the input manager rather than make controls. So just like with Pong, if you were here for that week, string axis equals horizontal. So also we can have multiplayer by keeping this string thing open. We can make horizontal too and have another person playing. And we're going to store a jump button as well under jump. So these horizontal and jump, they already exist in the input manager. They're already mapped to keys, so we don't need to worry about setting up what keys we're pressing. And they'll work with game controllers as well as keyboard because they're already in the input manager. So the jump button will work as like the A button on an 8-bit controller or something. All I'm putting in the start method is I'm setting my rigid body to be the rigid body that's attached to this. So I believe it should be rigid body 2D. I've made an error there. Or B equals get component rigid body 2D. That's it. Just assign it to that variable, so later in the script I just have to type or B and then get the rigid body.
Body.
What? Oh, these guys. Yeah. Okay, down to the update function. We're actually going to, update is where the controls are going to exist. First, I'm going to create a float called H, and it's going to store my horizontal movement value. This is going to be useful when we apply it to the animator later. Input dot get axis, raw, and then we're going to use the variable we just created called axis. That's this variable up here, which means we are assigning horizontal. Then we're going to assign the linear velocity of my rigid body. New vector 2. And it's giving me the autocomplete. That is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put a horizontal movement onto the rigid body force, the velocity, the speed. Except H just gives me my input and my direction. I need to multiply direction by speed to get velocity. That's just classic science. So multiply by my speed. So that'll handle my movement, my left and right movement. For jumping, I need to check if I'm pressing the jump button. So if statement first. Input dot get button down, not get key, because we're using the jump button command. Jump button. So if we do that, we want to add force to our rigid body. So we can use the add force command, or b dot add force. And we want to go up. So vector 2 dot up. Multiply by our jump speed. I'm going to change the, yeah, it's giving me a autocomplete here for force mode 2D mode, vector 2 force. And as we did when we were creating the little bean character in 3D, I'm going to use force mode impulse to give you a nice burst rather than acceleration, which takes time to ramp up. Force mode 2D dot impulse. So vector 2 up, it is just making an XY vector 2. And to go up, it adds 0 on the X and 1 on the Y. That's basically what vector 2 up is. It's just a shorthand for always knowing when to go up. It's the same as writing vector 2, 0, 1, because it's adding 1 on the Y. That's why we add the jump speed to change the thing. Yeah. The one thing we haven't added is we're calculating a force going up, but we're not adding it to our velocity up here. You see, we've got new vector 2. Our x value is h times speed. We have 0 on this. So I want to add the velocity of the rigid body on the y-axis as well in here. So I'm just going to make this one change. Or b, rigid body dot linear velocity y. So it's going to take this force mode and add it to our movement. So jump and movement are kind of tied together. So I just added that one thing in here.
Non vedrei del punto también ecco il comporto. Ci sentono. Inizio a portarla su un po'. Tutto. Le ho, no? Vabbè. Quando? Ja. Se come la ce l'ho. Also going to tiramisù.
And at this point, you could save and test.
Can you see the first part of the screen, please? Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so I go back to Unity. I'll test this out. Bring my guy back in here. Press play, and I should be able to move, but we haven't rigged up the animator yet. I can walk. I can jump. Oh, that's a poor jump.
And the arrows up, down, right?
No, just left and right. But we only have horizontal.
Like,
Oh, dead. Chico, no! Anyway, so Chico's moving.
Which key do I use?
Arrows. Well, have you spelled horizontal right?
Mine saying the jump speed does not exist.
Okay, so check your variable. If it's saying it doesn't exist, is there any spelling between jump speed here and jump speed the variable?
Oh, okay, I put jump force.
Well, then just put jump force throughout. It's just whatever you declare the variable as first, it will remember.
Invalid operation exception. I'm trying to read what you saying.
Enzo, where have you been? You gotta do this project settings input manager thing. Search the word input. And then go to player.
the same as we did a long out, and then.
I mean, a long time ago for you. Yeah, both. Anyway, never mind that.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, we're not done with the script because we haven't put the animator logic in yet. Let's add the animator logic.
I was not able to.
So for the animator, we want to get the animator component, which is on Chico. Chico has an animator because idle is the default state. So get component, animator, and we want to access set integer because we created an integer parameter called x. And you can see it's giving me what I need to put in, the int ID, and then the int value, what we're assigning to that value. So the int ID, we give it the string name. I named mine x, lowercase x. If that's what you named it, put that in like that. If you put uppercase, put uppercase. And then what we're assigning to it is this, the horizontal value, because that's going to detect if we move to the left at all, then it's going to go into the minus ever so slightly. And if we move to the right, it's going to go into the plus relative to where we are now. Because wherever Chico is standing is the center of the universe. Vector 2, 0, 0 to Chico. So we want to put a H there, but you can see it's giving us an error. That's because it is a float and this is an int. So we need to convert from float to int, or at least just in this operation by putting the word int in brackets. No more error. Because now it's converting whatever the value is of H, it'll just, what's the word? Round down to a whole number, an integer number. And with just that line, we have linked up the animator. It will now change the animations based on the direction we're pointing. I test one more time. And now he can walk, and he changes direction. Chico is alive.
Go back to the scope.
Oh, don't worry, we're going back because we're not done. There's still one thing wrong with Chico. It's, obviously, he looks great, but I can keep jumping.
Fuck. Well, in some games you can do double jumps.
Do double, but this is infinite jump. So basically what that means is I can effectively jump forever and fly through any problems that I come up against. Just fly away. We don't want that. We want to make the game harder. So for that, we're going to need to create another method. And it's going to check, are we touching the ground? Are we not touching the ground? True or false? What do we need for a true or false result? No. True or false? Yes. Boolean. So we're going to make a bool function, a void bool, called is grounded. And not a void, actually. What am I saying? Because we're going to return a value, true or false. I'm going to make a public bool is grounded, not void. First thing we're going to do, just like with Pong, we need to get the size of our collider. For that, we create our bounds value. Bounds, I'll call it bounds. And it's giving me the autocomplete, which is fine. Get component, but not bounds. Get component collider 2D. Dot bounds. So this is Chico's collider. Find the size of Chico's collider. Next, we're going to create a range that extends beyond the bounds of Chico. So the idea is we're going to shoot a little ray cast, like an invisible laser, to detect just below Chico's feet. And if there's anything below his feet, he can jump. If he's in the air and there's nothing below his feet, he can't. So let's create a range. Quote, range. We're going to take our bounds value, dot extents, so to the end of it, dot y. And we're going to multiply it by 1.2. So if you multiply something by 1, you get the exact same result. 1.2, we're going to add 20% onto the bottom. So whatever his size is, it'll add 20% of detection area. Yeah. We'll create a vector 2. I'll name it V. And this is going to be where our line stops. So we need a location below to draw the line to. Bounds.center is where we start. Minus transform.up times range. with the idea being that we're drawing from the center of the character straight down below our feet, so that this is our detection area right here. So from the center, minus transform up. What's minus transform up? When we say minus transform up in code, that really means down. The opposite of transform up. We're taking it away. Anyway. And from this, what we're going to do is draw a ray. So this is our ray. And it's going to detect anything below our feet by 0.2. So let's draw the ray next. Ray cast hit 2D is the command. I'm going to name it ray. Physics 2D dot line cast, because what we're doing, we're drawing a line. Drawing it from V to bounds dot center, as I just said we were going to do. And then finally, we return the value. Have we hit something or have we hit ourselves? Return ray dot collider dot game object, lowercase g, because we're referring to Chico, the character this script is on. Does not equal to game object. Which means, are we hitting ourselves with the ray? Or something else? Like the ground, platforms, etc. So that's going to return a true or false. Are we hitting ourselves, the game object, or something else? If we're not hitting ourselves, then we can jump. If we are hitting ourselves, we can't. And then finally, the last thing we need to do in the script, and then we're done. Because we created this very nice and flexible ground check, because it takes into account any character size. You can use this on any character, and it would figure it out. The one thing we haven't done is call it. So up here, we're saying if we press that jump button, we also want to check, are we touching the ground? So to do a check, we need to do double entry. So ampersand, ampersand, and. So is the button being pressed, and is grounded. Open and close brackets. Oh, did I add too many? I did. The autocomplete gave me too many. I did. Nope. No. I had as many as I needed. Yeah. I forgot about this one. Open and close. Open and close. And open and close. And then the last thing to do is to add our camera script to our camera. And we can just start creating the level. Save. Oh, that's what I'm doing wrong. I was like, this is giving me an error and it does look wrong. It is wrong. Get button down doesn't include is grounded. Sorry, I've made a boo-boo. Jump button in its own thing. So if you copied me, you wrote some bad code. That's your fault if you really think about it. Okay, last thing. I'll just test that that's working.
I have some errors.
Oh, well now. Okay. Oh yeah, that's, I mean, I think you could use what you call it?
That's
A physics material, because he's sticking to the walls. I think we could add a physics material and that would make things a bit better also. Yeah, because I can kind of grab on the walls if I just hold. We need to make them slippy. No, camera next. The script from last week will work just fine. It is on the notes right here. You can just copy and paste this exact script wholesale. It's the whole thing. And the only thing you need to know is that the transform for target is for the player. So our camera is going to follow Chico. So again, that's from week 3 on step 15 if you need that script. We just put it on our main camera, cam follow X. And we say target Chico. And now we can explore the rest of our level. Onward, forward. Yeah, we need to do something with the decorative level. You notice it's in front of everything. Uh-oh. So yeah, our clouds are sitting in front of our characters. That's no good. We want them all to be behind. As you can see, Chico is hidden behind that cloud. I'm just going to select my no collision layer.
mine's one.
Yeah, you got it. The order in layer. We can set the stuff to be behind with -1 a Linton. Kill zone and respawn and all that should probably be set up too.
Sorry,
Yep.
I changed for the camera to follow Chico.
Do you have the cam follow X script?
No, I didn't change there.
Oh, do you have the script though from the last project?
I may have it.
Yeah. Well, it's this one. It's very short. Transform target, late update. If you don't have it, it's in the notes from topic 3
Where I have to put that?
on the camera.
Chico not jump.
Oh no, I'm stuck. So this is also a key part of level design, testing the thing to make sure you can complete it. You haven't made the jumps too big, or there's no place where you get stuck and can't get out. Wow. Back to the start. Oh, I was hidden behind that flag.
In this case, for the components of like the lava and water should be, how they change, like,
Well, what do you think they should do?
so,
They could kill you, yeah,
yeah.
and then reset. So I just made a very simple respawn while nobody was looking. If you're less than equal to -5 on the Y, then change it to the start position. Very simple little logic here. On start, wherever the player is, that's his start position, like first checkpoint. And then if at any point, and I do call it down here in update. Put it up here so you can see it. Very simple. So that could be also, oh, you've hit the lava, respawn back at checkpoint. Or if you have life, like hearts, that could go down, and then if you lose all of your life, back to the start.
So one way could be to do it with both.
Yeah.
And the other could be like to do it with components, or it's harder to do it down.
What kind of components?
I don't know. Just wondering if it could be like to set lava in water as not rigid, like so it would fall down or something like that.
Yeah, but then what's gonna happen? Where does the character go after that? Like they
Yeah, but
keep,
like it would still need to go.
it'll still be respawning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there needs to be some kind of reactive. I mean, that's the simplest way I can think of.
Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you.
You're not really dying; you're just teleporting. Yeah, 20 minutes left. Keep working on your level. Get it as good as possible.